So have you went to trade school maybe for a year or two and you didn't get a job out of it? Or you were told to go to trade school by somebody that completed the trade school and got a job but never mentioned an apprenticeship? If so, this video for you. We about to talk about it today. So what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Trey Visions. Like, subscribe, and comment. And today we're going to talk about how the trades aren't the problem, it's the trade schools. And when I say it's the trade schools, I'm not talking about all trade schools, because not all trade schools aren't bad. I'm just going to put that out there first. All of them are not bad, and some of them are helping in good faith, but a lot of them are just taking your money, not really helping you find a job, not really caring if you find a job. Once they get that money, they're going to teach you what they know, kick you out, and that's it. That's it. And I feel like that's a problem. So a lot of these trade schools will tell you after you finish, you'll have a job, you'll have a high paying career, you'll graduate and start making a lot of money. You'll get a certificate that shows you're a master, or you're qualified to get a job in any trade. And they're not telling you that experience really trumps trade school any and every day. And what I mean by that is, say you apply to a job and someone applied to a job that has experience being a helper. Who you think going to get the job? Not the person that went to trade school and wasn't on the actual site and wasn't getting hands-on experience at an actual work or a job or with a contractor. It's going to be the helper. It's going to be the helper that was actually putting in the hours, putting in the work while you were sitting at the desk. You probably was doing some stuff in the trades, but you wasn't directly working with it. It's doing paperwork too, stuff like that. So remember that there is jobs called helpers. There is jobs for apprentices. An apprentice is someone that you start as like a helper, but you're getting the credentials to show that, okay, after 4 or 5 years, you're a journeyman in that trade. So you're showing the credentials that you have hands-on experience. When you go to trade school, it's just like, it's kind of like a side quest that you don't really got to do, but you do it because you feel like you need it to get to the main mission. Like, that's basically what it is. But you don't know that you can start the main mission immediately, but people are not telling you this. That's basically what trade school is to me, because you can apply to be helpers. Unions even have helpers. You can apply to be apprentices. Unions have apprentices. Now, I'm not saying that you'll get into it quickly. I'm not saying that it will guarantee you get in, but you ain't going to get in if you don't try and you don't apply yourself. Some people don't even apply to the apprenticeships or the helpers. They feel like they need to have experience already and go to trade school. And trade school, it doesn't really give you the hands-on experience. It just gives you a certificate saying, hey, I completed trade school, so I have a little bit of knowledge on whatever trade it is. Also, another thing is, trade school can put you in debt before you even start making money. Kind of like college. Not as much as college most of the time, but debt is debt. You're still owing money. So you might get a job after 1 or 2 years in trade school, but you ain't really seeing the money until you pay off that debt, maybe like 10, 12,000. So you got to think about these things before you just go to school and then try to get a job, still have stuff to pay. And then even when you're in school, you're going to have a part-time job or something like that, because who's going to pay for this trade school? Who's going to pay for your way to trade school? If you have a car, you're going to need gas. You're going to need, it's a lot of things you need to get back and forth to the trade school, and they're not paying you. So just think about those things. You're going to be in a lot of debt. You're not getting paid. You're just going to learn. It's kind of like an paid internship, but you're the one paying. And then it's not even guaranteed that you're going to get a job after that. So you're paying for all this knowledge, things like that. And then you apply to jobs and you realize you ain't getting hired. And it's really just discouraging. It's like you go from up here being encouraged that you're going to get in, and then the more you apply, the more jobs denying you. It's like you're going down a roller coaster, and then you're about to get off, because at this point you're like, man, I'm not getting hired. I have actual experience, but it's not really experience. It's just you going to a trade school and thinking that they're going to look out for you, when really you're just a number to them. You're just a number that they need to meet to make the money to keep that trade school open most of the time. Now, there is good ones. I'm going to mention it again. There is good trade schools, but you got to do the research in order to find those trade schools. Like, you just searching up the first trade school that everybody went to and thinking like, it's going to be different when I go there. Even though I see all these bad reviews, it's going to be different when I go there. I don't know. You got to ask people that actually been there. And even when people's actually been there, someone might have went to the same trade school as you. They got a job offer. You didn't. So it's like, it can go either way. Instead, that whole 2 years that you've been working at the trade school, you could have been applying to jobs, helper jobs, apprentices in those 2 years. 2 years is a long time. You might be able to get an apprentice or a helper job. You might have to work that restaurant job until you get an interview to one of those. You might have to work that fast food, that warehouse job, whatever it is, until you're able to get into an apprenticeship or a helper role. And that's just, it is what it is. Especially when I see younger guys going to trade school. I mean, it's good, but most of the time these guys don't have the money. They're putting themselves in debt already before they even get to the trade. Also, like these trade schools, you don't really see that the construction side. You don't see the early mornings. You got to wake up. I don't think you have to wake up as early as you do for a shift that you have to do for trade school. At least where I work, I have to be up by like 5 a.m. We start at 6. Well, I have to be up at 4. It takes me an hour drive there, and then start at 6. The physical work, you might do physical work in the trade school, but it's not the same, bro. When you're at the contractor, when you're at the job that you're going to be working at, it's going to be physical the whole time. You're not sitting down at no desk. You're going to be on your feet the whole time, moving around, moving stuff. At least that's how I am. We don't get to sit down. So all that sitting down in trade school, it's cool now. But once you get into the real field, oh, ain't no sitting down. And if you do sitting down, they're going to say something to you. But it's like, even going to trade school, you still got to go into entry-level wages when you get out of trade school. So it's not like it's putting you a step ahead of anyone at all. But if it was an apprenticeship, most likely you're getting raises for the first 2 years. At least you making some more money and you getting hands-on training. So if you guys are going to go to trade school, make it your last option, man. Try to apply to helper roles and apprenticeships as much as you can. Do your research first on these trade schools if you want to really go to trade school. And if you can, apply to every apprenticeship. I don't care if it's not the trade that you want to be in right now. Doesn't matter. Apply to it. And if you get in and learn. Learn as much as you can about that trade. And then you could always switch in the future. Especially if you're young. If you're 18 or like real young, bro, you don't gotta go to whatever trade accepts you. Learn how to work in the construction site. Learn how to work with tools. Learn how to work with other trades, other people, foremans, journeymen. Then once you get 4 or 5 years in, you could switch whatever trade. And you're still young, so you'll have enough time to do whatever you do. But to conclude everything, man, all I have to say is, if you want to join the trades, trade school can be a scam. So just look up everything in that trade school and try to apply to apprenticeship for whatever trade it is. And if you can't get into the designated trade or the apprenticeship you're trying to get into, then apply to the next trade and the next trade until you get in, and then you see if you really like working a trade job. Because most of the trade jobs, the schedules and things like that are the same. The schedules are the same. The work may be a little different, but the schedules are the same. So if you can't even stick to the schedule, you ain't even going to be able to work a trade in general. That's just, it is what it is. But Just know it's a better route than trade school. That's all this video is about. It's trying to find a better route, and apprenticeship is the best route, I feel like, in general. Now, it's maybe not be as easy to get in as in trade school, but you're not in debt. You're not in debt. So really, man, that's all I got. Like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for watching if you got this far. It's your boy Trey Visions, and I'm out. Peace.